Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel, Mish's Wishes. I'm Mish, and we're here today to see how much money I spent within the last 3 months. So, previous to this, I did a video, see how much I spent in August. August budget recap of my variable expenses, and I haven't done a recap since. So that's September, October, and November that we will be doing today. September, October, and November, compared to what I said we would do in August. So that's what we're going to do today. And if that's something you'd like to see, since you're here and I'm here and we're here together, let's get this thing started. Okay, so let's see. I went through my budget with you guys and tried to recap my August month. The August so what I usually do in order to recap is I will take and print out my bank statement. I will go through and I will highlight the areas on my bank statement, and once I highlighted everything, I can go back through and I can write it all out, and I can come up with a total, and I can try to create a budget for the following month from what I spent on the previous month. So this month, for the month of August, we'll add these up, and then I'll set a budget for myself for the month of September, and we'll see how that works for September. And that was the plan. So I printed out my statements for September, October, and November. I've highlighted them just like I did in the video, and we're going to go back through and compare to what it says in the video. So we're going to start that. Let's get back to it. Okay, guys, so this is sad total, and like I said, this channel is to keep me honest. Last month, in the month of August, my shopping habit cost me $358.35. Okay, so August, the spending habit for shopping was $358.35, and I went through and I did my totals for September, October, and November, and this is what I had. So we're going to go through and we're going to go through my variable expenses, and it's kids, shopping, meaning anything that I am purchasing for myself that's outside of the household, pets, groceries, dine out, gas, house or household, my business, which I believe is a new one for this time around. The video, it did not have that. And I also have a new one called personal. And personal are things that I need for myself outside of shopping, such as things for my hair and everyday necessities. So those are the variable categories. And in the video, it started out with shopping. So that's what we're going to start with on here. And for shopping, in August from the video, we had a total of $385.35. So when I calculated it for the month of September, I went down in September to 204.69, and I had given myself, in that video, I had given myself a $200 budget. So I kind of almost hit the mark in September, but then along comes October with my birthday, and I show out and showboat, and I bought and spent a little too much, and I spent $483.82. Where's all this stuff that I bought? I have no idea. Frivolous spending is a really bad thing for me. In November, went down a bit from October, but not much. But I did get this weird number of $443.44. I cannot make that up. That is exactly what I had for November, which is really strange. So, as you can see, my spending is way past the budget that I gave myself in August for September. So that is something we will have to work on. And like I said, this video is to keep me honest. So let's move on to the next category from my video.
And I like being crafty. I do have to cut back.
Yes, I do.
At this moment, my actual spending was
$358.35. And it went down and went up and went down and went up. So we really need to fix that. That's not a good habit to have. What is the next category? Let's move on.
All right, so I came up with a total for household spending.
Household
was $43.48.
Okay, so household spending $43.48. Let's see. So from the video, we're going to make household spending. Let's bring that down here. Let's go from household. Okay. So household spending, we had a total of $43.48 in August, and in September we had $85.86. So it went up a bit. And then in October, $73.95, went down a little bit. And then in November, we had a whopping $165.85. And I think it went up because of the holidays. I started to purchase things for my home for the holidays, so that added to it. So we do have to adjust there as well. I believe I didn't give myself an actual budget for this in the video, but we will see. So that is my totals for my household, that we will come to some sort of budget for January. Now, all the ones I'm doing today, we will budget this out for January. Okay, so that was household. Let's see what's next on.
So it looks like for gas for the month of August, I spent $60. So I'll go ahead, and I usually don't spend that much.
Okay, so the next category we had was gas, or I should say gas for the car, transportation gas, blah, 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 whatever you want to list it as. That was the next category. So we will bring that up here as well. I will say that in August, I had to take my daughter back to college. So I did spend a bit more in gas. I am not a traveling person, so I don't really go many places. So we have a gas total of 60 for August. In September, it went down to 20, which is my normal. And then it was 25 in October, because I normally don't do much driving back and forth to the grocery store, blah, 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 visit a friend or two. And then in November, I went nowhere. So I did not buy any gas at all in November. So we will adjust this and make a budget for January from that as well. Okay, so let's move on.
Oh, wow. This is why this is why we set budgets for stuff, because I really think we overspent on groceries. Last month I spent $516.
Yeah, 516.24
for groceries. I really know I can cut back on that spending for groceries. So
okay, so August was for groceries, we had, make a little line here, try to keep things straight. In August for groceries, we had a whopping $516.24. And realizing that this is a weekly shopping, I usually go to the grocery store every weekend. So that's a little bit over what I normally wanted, but that's where it is now. In September, I spent $260.55, which is better. And then in October, we went to 420.95. And then in November, it was $234.81. So taking these into account, in the video, I gave myself a budget of $400, which it looks like would be a good budget to have, because then I wouldn't, if you just before I made the budget, it was 500, but as you can see, it's been consistently between 2 and 4. So I think we're going to stick with the 400, and we'll see in January what happens. Okay, let's see what the next one is.
So I have a category for pets, and last month, the month of August for pets, I spent $57.65.
Okay, so for the month of August for pets, we spent, let's see if I can get this situated here. For the month of August, we spent for pets. In the video, it stated that we spent $57.65. When I did my calculations for September, it came up to $39.51. And then in October, $27.03. And then in November, it's $50.25. And I believe we gave ourselves a budget of $50 in the video. So I think that would be a good budget to keep for January. So we will do that. And we pretty much stayed on budget with the pet supplies. So that looks good. Let's go on to the next one.
Okay, so our total for dining out for the month of August,
so this is dining out.
$156.88.
Okay, so for the month of August, dining out, we had a total of $156.88, which in my house is not bad for 4 people. So let's see, 150 for the month, 156.88. Well, that was good, but let me tell you this, it just got worse. September, we had $302.99. In October, we went back down, which is not too bad. 220. It's still bad, but not as bad. 85. And then in November, we had a 250. So I mean, it's not horrible, but it can be better. I would like to lower it. So I'm thinking we will give ourselves a dining out total, since the lowest was 156, and then the next to that was 220. We will do let's say a 175 for January will be our budget. So when we come back, we're trying to hit these numbers that I'm putting over here as the new budget. Okay, let's see what I did for the next category on my video.
Next category, which I think is the kids. So we'll see how they beat me up last month.
So the kids are the next category. So let's see what was in the video.
So they didn't do too bad. I didn't do too bad. The total for kids for the month of August was $55.08.
And I will tell you, this was before a budget. There is no way. I have 2 teenage girls. One is in college and one is in high school. So for that category, it went way up. There's no way. I don't even know how it was $50 at that time. Like, I don't even know how it was $50 in August. So for August, it was $55.08. September, it was $160, which I feel is better. October, it was $265. It went up way more. And then it went down to $236.32. So we're going to average these numbers and come up with a kid's budget. I'm thinking around 175. So that will be, let's put 175 for the kids. That's what we'll do for them. And the way I do it is I'll add all four of the numbers and then I will come up with the total and then I will divide it out. So let me just show you what I do. All right, so for the kids, we'll just come up with the total. So we'll add them all together. Okay, so when you add all four together, you get 717. And then you divide it by 4 and you get 179.25. And then I just evened it out to 175. And that's what I did for the kids. And I pretty much did that with all of the categories except the things that I wanted to spend less on. But that's pretty much what I did for all of the categories. So I think, far as the video goes, I think we are done with the video because the last two categories on here is my business and my personal, and we did not do that in the video. So I am going to do that right now. Okay, so since we did not have these two categories for August, we cannot put the budget amounts in for those two categories. So for the month of September for my business, I spent $35.78. For the month of October was 158, and I probably had to get some supplies for my shops. I do have an Etsy shop and a TikTok shop at the moment. And then there was a whopping $5 for November, which was mostly like a postal charge or something like that. So that was that. So we can let's do the little calculation on that one real quick. And if you add, it gives us a 199.65 total. And again, we divide by 3 this time because it was 3 months. And it gives us about 66.55 a day. I think that's a little bit high because the lowest we had was 35 and then the highest was 158 and we came up with 66. So I'm thinking we'll just do a 60 as our budget for the business. And for personal, I had a $46.05. And this is, like I said, for hair care, medications, blah, 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 things that I have to spend money on for my personal use. And 32.46. So 46.05, 40.51, 32.46. Let's average that out. And it comes to around about, like I would say, about $45 a month. But let's try it anyway. 6.05 plus 40.51 plus 32.6 gives us 119, and we divide by 3 and it's 39.67. So yeah, about 40 bucks. So I'll give myself a $40 budget for that. And now we have to do these two really quick. So let's do that. 1 second. Okay, so for my household, if we add all four of the totals together, we come up with 369.14. And if we divide that by 4, we get 92.28. And our lowest was 73. And then we had an 85 and a 40. Our lowest was 40, but I think we will do it's going to be lower than 92 because we did a 73. So I'm thinking we can hit like a $75 for the household and we'll still be good. And we're going to have to do for the car, for gas, I'm just going to put 30 because we had 220. We went up to 25 on one and then a 60. So I put a 40 here. And that's what we'll do. So the new budget for the new budget total for January. Okay, so the new budget for January 2024 for my variable expenses will be $1,215 um, um, a month just for variable expenses. So I am going to recap again in January to try to make sure I keep myself accountable for my spending. We are definitely, hopefully, going to work on this spending, this shopping habit here, because that is horrendous. And as far as everything else went outside of shopping and maybe the kids and groceries, those three categories, it seems like I have to work on. Everything else seems to, oh, and dining out. So we got a couple of categories. Okay, half of the categories I was in the budget, half of the categories I was outside. So we're doing good. So with that, and that's pretty much how I'm going to try to figure my budget. Every 3 months, I'll just go and do these calculations and try to get things done. But before we go, since the video is now coming to an end, I would like to show you guys what I do have currently in my shop. I have a TikTok shop as well as a Etsy shop. And in the shops, we now currently have the scratcher portfolios. This is for 12 months for the new year of 2024. So you will get 12 of these with two scratchers each for every month. So if you have a bi-weekly pay, you can scratch one each pay and save. I will personalize the front. You will just have to let me know the colors. I cannot predict what colors they will have, but the initials you have to also let me know, and I will initialize it. And then I have a Happy Kwanzaa. This is also a scratcher book, but in this book we have stickers. So you have scratcher and you have stickers in the book, and that's one is for Kwanzaa. I have one for Kwanzaa. I have a Black Girl Magic. I have a Kawaii Cuties, and that's all things cute. And I have an American Dream, which is more of the retro comic book look. And these stickers, you can use the photobomb sticker, blah, blah, blah. So that is something that I have in both my TikTok shop and my Etsy shop, Mrs. Wishes. Go check it out if you're interested. Everything in the video, calculators, maths, tablets, everything I use in this video, if I have the links, it will be linked down below. And every time I end a video, I like to tell you guys, I'll see you, seeing me when I see ya. Holla.